invited me to share some of my thoughts on the Ronald McDonald House network across Australia and the contribution it is making to children from the country areas of our country. I personally, 40 years ago, experienced the illness of my child. We lived in a country town in Childers, 1,000 kilometres from the Sydney Children's Hospital, where Helen was diagnosed with leukaemia. And 40 years ago, overnight, without warning, we found ourselves in Sydney with nowhere to stay. There was no social or emotional or financial support, and Helen had to stay for 3 years for her treatment program, and the whole exercise was so daunting. It was about that time that we started the Children's Cancer Institute, where we employed scientists to undertake research into understanding better many forms of childhood cancer. And at that time we were beginning to make some significant breakthroughs and progress, so much so that at the end of the 3 years, Helen was one of the first successfully treated children with leukaemia, and Helen is now 47 years of age and has lived a wholesome and a good life, but still many children were not surviving. But the families from the country areas at that time were having to make the decision, because of the cost and the transport, to take their child home to die, and that actually did happen many times. But what happened, of course, was at that time we were successful in the federal government agreeing to introduce the IPTAS program, and that happened in 1976, where transport for all families from country areas within a 200 kilometre, now it's a 100 kilometre zone, were able to in fact get assistance in transport and accommodation. Little did we know at the time that this was going to facilitate the running of Ronald McDonald Houses across Australia. Now, the Ronald McDonald House network is an integral part of the whole healthcare system of these children. There is no doubt about that, because the Ronald McDonald House provides a safe place, a place where medical attention is right next door, where they can stay for as long a period as they need to, and some of the treatments are now being expanded to weeks, sometimes months. And if we didn't have the Ronald McDonald Houses, those families could not afford to stay in a metropolitan hospital in a city anywhere in Australia. So, and it's now proven that the Ronald McDonald Houses also benefit the welfare of the family, the preservation of the unit of the family, where the siblings and the mother and the father, even though they're experiencing the most terrible of circumstances, are able to stay together. And this is all due to the support that they get at the house, the emotional, financial and social support. So as far as the benefit of children from anywhere across Australia is concerned, the Ronald McDonald Houses are so integral in the success and the survival and the cure rate of that child.